Hi, it's Mike Stiles. Here's the Content Marketing Quickie for the week ending May 5th. Proof you need to be thinking more about mobile and less about desktop just keeps coming in. This time it's Polar's State of Branded Content Benchmarks and Insights report. They get paid more for long titles. What do you want to talk about? Click-through rate for branded content? It's significantly better on smartphones than on desktop or tablet. How about average time spent? Toby Elkin writes, on smartphones it's 63% higher than desktop at an average of 119 seconds. Financial publishers had the highest time spent at 323 seconds, while lifestyle, news, and travel had the weakest. Polar CEO Kunal Gupta says this shows publishers should focus on mobile first in design and experience, as well as native advertising. Fun fact, Australians spend the most time reading branded content, then comes the British, with Americans third. Can you imagine a world in which advertising is not needed to support the creation of content? The hairs on the back of your neck just went up, either because you love or dread that idea. But Adblock Plus and Flatter are trying to figure it out with Flatter Plus. Emil Protolinski tells us it's a way users can automatically financially reward the content they consume most. The plus in Flatter Plus is that unlike now, users don't have to manually hit a button on content to contribute. You set a monthly budget and Flatter Plus divvies it up based on what you engage with. 2 caveats. Publishers only get rewarded if they've signed up for the program, although it's free to sign up. And Flatter Plus is still trying to figure out exactly how to define engagement. It will eventually be integrated into Adblock Plus, at which time the ad industry would be eliminated from the equation. User-generated content. Ooh, just hearing those words gets brands so excited. Not only to have people give enough of a damn about your brand so much that they'll talk about you, but to have other people doing content for you for free? What could go wrong? Well, as it turns out, a lot. Never mind that not all user content is good. A lot of it is just wrong. Vimeo says 6.6% of user-made videos were found by the brand being mentioned to be problematic. Now, what's that mean? How about profanity, hate speech, nudity? People who are mostly 25 to 54 are doing that, and more women are doing it than men. A lot is rejected because it's way too off-brand. That mostly happens in the CPG sector. Many others are playing fast and loose with copyright violations, especially in the finance vertical. And 8% get rejected because, oopsie, didn't get permission from the people in the video to be in it. That happens a lot in fashion for some reason. Are you still doing banner ads? It's okay if you are. It's a basic international human right to run banner ads. But one publisher, the Daily Beast, is telling the marketing world they moved away from banners and toward content marketing, and they aren't sorry one least little bit. President Mike Dyer, yes, I know Obama's still president, Mike's the Daily Beast president, says when you put your monetization needs above your readers, you risk driving them away. Banner ads are designed to interrupt the consumption of content the reader was there for. He adds that pop-ups are a horrid frustration, and Facebook Instant Articles is right there to welcome turned-off readers. Bill Carmody writes, content marketing, though, is a different animal for the beast that adds real value. Dyer says our stories by and for brands perform as well as our editorial. Well, what's Pandora going to do now? John Paul Titlow has a very in-depth article out about some changes they're making and why. Pandora put personalized internet radio on the map, but hasn't been too profitable thanks largely to the music industry licenses they have to pay. The Spotifys of the world don't have to pay that since their core business is on-demand music. So here CEO Tim Westergren sits with over 80 million users thinking about what to make of it so big revenue is possible. It bought Rdio to get into on-demand. Pandora's chief product officer says that's coming late this year. But it also bought concert ticket seller Ticketfly, and they bought analytics company Next Big Sound. That adds up, maybe, if all goes as planned, to Pandora being a one-stop shop for music listening, using data to offer sales of music you'll probably like, selling and buying show tickets, maybe even selling merch via e-commerce. Or they may sell the whole company. They haven't ruled that out. Hannah Chappell saw an article in Ad Age about how companies are investing big time in content marketing despite some challenges they're having, particularly the challenge of how to produce content that engages the people they want to engage. Hannah lays out 2 reasons that might be happening. First, and you know this just as much as I do, there's a tanker full of content coming at you every day. The only way content gets your attention is if it's timely, relevant, and is about what you're interested in at the moment. Well, the problem is a lot of marketers don't even know what their customers are interested in. They know demographics, but when it comes to tapping into their customers' passions, they're largely guessing. Problem 2 is measurement. Vanity metrics can easily be manipulated, and Hannah says the new standard should be measuring the value of your audience and who's in it, preferably ideal buyers. In my day, we sat down with the JCPenney catalog and circled the toys we wanted for Christmas. Today, which is still my day, even though I sometimes say, boy, this just wasn't my day, Shop Your Way launched an iOS photo sharing and shopping app called Fount. Brandy Shaw writes that you can look at photos and videos and buy products you see in them right in the app. Talk about impulse purchases. Okay, I will talk about them. It works because if there's something available for sale in the photo, users can tag it and it'll search for that product or one like it. From then on, it'll be beside the photo when people view it. They can then in turn tap it to learn more about it or buy it, all in the app. But wait, there's more. Buy an item and it earns you points in the Shop Your Way rewards program. And if somebody buys something you tagged, you get points if they buy that too. I'm young, I'm hip, I'm cool, and I'm an independent video maker. Well, one of those 4 things is true anyway. Indie filmmakers want to make money too, and they've been using things like VHX, a little New York startup, to sell content to the fans they've gathered up. That's fine, but did you know about VHX? Have you heard of Vimeo? Good, because Vimeo just bought VHX, and now these indie content makers can get access to the Vimeo crowd. Vimeo CEO Carrie Trainer says, online video is expanding from a few mainstream subscription services into a flourishing world of interest-based streaming channels, much like the evolution from broadcast to cable. Ben Popper writes in The Verge, VHX has been busy making mobile apps and getting clients on the new Apple TV. Vimeo plans to let creators keep more of the money, and it'll give them info on the people who buy their stuff. What does the phrase watch TV even mean anymore? Watch cable? Watch dish? Watch the internet on TV? Don't turn on the TV and just stare at a blank screen? Leichman Research Group found that there are now more connected TV devices in U.S. households than pay TV set-top boxes. The mean number is 2.1 to 1.8, so not really sure cable and dish is the future. 65% of homes have at least one internet-connected TV, whether that's through a smart TV, game system, Blu-ray player, or something like Roku. It was 44% in 2013. Now, the news isn't all bad for the old-school guys. 83% of households with a connected TV still get a pay TV service, so they haven't cut the cord. Now, guess how many TV sets in the U.S. are HD TV now? 79%. So 21% are getting the picture cut off on either side of the screen, or the picture is stretched like silly putty. Many of you use Adobe AEM, which is redundant because the A in AEM stands for Adobe. You use this as your content management system. So the more powerful it gets, the bigger cheesy grin you probably get. So I'm happy to tell you that they bought Livefire, which will now be part of AEM and spread across the whole Adobe Marketing Cloud. Livefire lets you look all over social media for mentions of your brand. Now, this helps you make sure people aren't bashing the daylights out of you without you even knowing it. And it lets you include user-generated content in your content efforts. Stephanie Condon reports Adobe and Livefire have actually been working together since September. And that's it. The transcript is at MikeStiles.com. Spell it with an I. Use a real vowel.